Hello and welcome. In this episode, I'm going to share my trip to Mount Everest Base Camp. Our group decided to experience north face of Mount Everest from the Tibet Autonomous Region of China. The group trip was organized through myodysseyltours.com. Himalayas is known for its majestic height and varied geologic structure. It is one of the greatest gifts of nature, signifying nature's beauty, power, and splendor. Our journey began from Orlando, Florida. We had one night stay in Toronto, Canada. During the short period of stay in Toronto, Canada, I got to enjoy some Indian food and the most important, yummy mangoes, Kesar and Alfonso mangoes from India. Then from Toronto we flew to Beijing, China. After 13 hours of long flight, we finally reached Beijing, where we were received from our tour company and we were taken to the hotel, Regent Hotel. We had an opportunity to explore Beijing for the next 2 days and 3 nights. China is a populous nation whose vast landscape encompasses grassland, desert, mountains, lakes, rivers, and more than 14,000 kilometers of coastline. Capital Beijing mixes modern architecture with historic sites such as the Forbidden City Palace Complex and Tiananmen Square. And no visit to China would be complete without visiting the iconic Great Wall of China, runs east-west across the country's north. Finally, our official itinerary began and we had our guide Tracy. And the first attraction was Temple of Heaven. The Temple of Heaven is an imperial complex of religious buildings situated in the southeastern part of central Beijing. We then visited Wangfuzing Street. It is located in the Dongsheng district of Beijing. It is one of the most modern and attractive shopping streets in China. You can get almost all the famous brand products here. Did you notice one thing? Clean roads in Beijing. The truck keeps on washing the road.
As well. In China, I think in India maybe same thing.
I simply fell in love with Chinese roses all over the city. In the evening that day, we got ready for the show, the popular show known as the Golden Mask of Dynasty. A large-scale poetic dancing drama, Golden Mask Dynasty show is based on a legendary age in China. It incorporates dancing, lighting, and acoustics, acrobatics, and some magnificent costumes to recreate the wonderful legend. If you want to enjoy a great nightlife in Beijing, Hong Hai Pub Street is an ideal place not to miss. Honghai, a large artificial lake in downtown Beijing, is famous for its surrounding pub street, old hutongs, traditional courtyards, and restaurants. And our group decided to eat at the restaurant Ganges Indian restaurant. Hotels usually have big, good breakfast, but sometimes we had our own Indian breakfast.
With a nice view outside.
Masala chai, makhania biscuit, chevro, methi thepla.
One time. Yes, that is true.
Today is the day to visit Great Wall of China. Great Wall hiking is fun if you prepare yourself with some snacks, water, and the most important, good shoes. Round way cable car was included in our tour.
Everybody's here. Walking 45 degrees. Everybody's walking 45 degrees. Climbing down the wall now. Wow. Yes.
All of us were so happy to find Subway after climbing down from Great Wall. After Great Wall of China, we visited Sacred Road, the path lined with stone statues of animals, mystical beasts, and officials who served the emperor in his afterlife, through which the sitting emperors would go to perform memorial rituals for the ancestors once a year. Mommy. And the last attraction for the day was Shen Tomb, is the largest and best preserved of the 13 Ming tombs near Beijing. The layout is identical to the tomb of the first Ming emperor in Nanjing and is rather like the Forbidden City in miniature. Then at the end of the day, we were taken to the Jade Factory.
If you got any questions about it, let me know, please. 不知道 no. So you have to know how to design. Who designed this? This is one of the is the bigger. And what we call PIXIU, PQ. Could you please follow me? PQ. Right. If someone said PQ, that's wrong. That means beer. Real diarrhea. All the money gone. The emperor becomes so angry. Give him a spanking. Later.
For Chinese, when it comes to bringing prosperity and abundance into their life, the jade crystal stone is the ultimate good luck charm. Jade is basically a hard typical green stone used for ornaments and implements and consisting of the minerals jaded or nephrite. It is beautiful stone that can be many different colors including green, orange or white.
Or they handle by yourself. If you want, I will tell them probably about 4:20. You have to leave your suitcase outside of the door.
And after dinner, we went to watch the show Kung Fu. And as I mentioned earlier, the breakfast in the hotel is quite big and very stomach filling, and a lot of time actually we packed our lunch from even breakfast.
What is it?
Today, our group got ready again to explore 3 more great attractions for the day: Tiananmen Square, the Forbidden City, and Summer Palace.
Everybody waiting in the line.
The same way. Super crowded. So listen to me, please. Let me introduce the building. The one over there, it is called Arrow Tower.
Tiananmen Square is the largest city square in the world and the spiritual heart of China, where the national flag is raised exactly at sunrise every day. The Forbidden City is located in the center of Beijing, used to be the imperial palace of the Ming and Qing dynasties. With a history of around 600 years, it is the grandest integral palace complex still remaining in China. Summer Palace is located on the northwestern outskirts of the city. It was an imperial summer resort of the Qing dynasty. With its perfect layout, magnificent buildings, and enchanting landscape, it is the most splendid classical garden in China.
New reproducted for the people to climb on the top to see the view of the city.
It was almost time for us to say goodbye to Beijing. We were lucky to find one more Indian restaurant in Beijing, Mirch Masala Indian restaurant,
How much?
100K.
5 people? 5 people? Yeah. How much?
On the street. From the mall.
all of us got ready to flew Lhasa from Beijing.
How?
Preparing flight
We took a flight from Beijing, China to Lhasa, Tibet. The word Lhasa means literally the place of the gods. I already started experiencing the great landscape of Lhasa from the plane. Finally, we reached Lhasa and I already started experiencing short of breathing. Lhasa is about 12,000 feet above the sea level, so lack of oxygen is common here for the people other than locals.
Tibet, China.
Lhasa already started feeling so loving and welcoming with such a great honor of white scarf from the guide, Jack.
So whatever. Each one is a leaf, right? P-I-N-C-O-K.
starting construction. Yeah. After that, then we just cross in a bridge. Yeah. Then we just suppose in a real Lhasa. But the real Lhasa now is nearby the Jokang temple. In our itinerary, we visiting a temple, right? Once we get there, this is a real Tibet. All the locals that live around by the temples. Yeah. So that's why all the Japanese.
Get the pluses and minuses. Ajit, look. हाँ बिल्कुल कहीं था नहीं मतलब क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ तो उधर है ना see पूछो पड़ेगा रियल टिबेटियन डिस्कम
And finally, we reached to Shangri-La Hotel, where we were gonna stay for next 2 nights and get used to with the high altitude. The hotel Shangri-La was again very inviting, and as soon as I entered, the fragrance of white tea oil was just amazing, very pleasant. And we were again welcomed by the staff of Shangri-La Hotel. During check-in, we were served green tea. The hotel rooms at Shangri-La are quite impressive as well. You see those white cans? Those are oxygen cans. This is the nighttime view of Shangri-La Hotel, the back of the hotel actually, from our room. The breakfast again at Shangri-La Hotel was really awesome as well.
What juice is that? Juice? It's a watermelon?
Our first attraction in Lhasa for today was Jokhang Temple. Jokhang Temple or monastery is the spiritual center of Tibet and the holiest destination for all Tibetan pilgrims. Videography inside the temple is not allowed, so I will just share only the outside of the temple.
Get the tickets. On the ticket, they got the name of the temple, Jokhang. Jokhang. So Jokhang, the word Joe refers to the statue we're gonna see today, 2500 BC. Yeah.
Buying some good luck charm is a must. The practice of the pura is one that began long before Buddhism came to Tibet. I totally fell in love with the spinning prayer wheel. Parkour Street is a very ancient crown street surrounding the Jokang temple, and the locals are always proud of it.
Outside, yeah.
One of the unique things about Sera Monastery is its long tradition of debating. As part of the training, monks participate in a series of debates.
See the symbols.
The junior monks are seated while the monks questioning their knowledge of Buddhist scripture fire questions at them, accompanied by dramatic hand slapping. The hand slapping is a signal for the seated monk to respond. Back to the Shangri-La Hotel where they have happy hour snack time. When evening falls, Tibet is transformed into a festive ground for the people of Shangri-La. They form a circle and perform Tibetan folk dances to the notes of joyous music. The cheerful atmosphere will tempt you to join them in dance. For the dinner, we prepared Mexican food. Today is the time to visit the most awaited attraction of Tibet, Potala Palace. Potala Palace is the greatest monumental structure in Tibet and one of the most famous architectural works of the world. As the religious and political center of Old Tibet and the winter residence of Dalai Lamas, the palace witnessed the life of the Dalai Lamas and the important political and religious activities in the past centuries. Potala Palace also houses great amounts of rare cultural relics, including the gold, handwritten Buddhist scriptures, valuable gifts from the Chinese emperors, and a lot of priceless antiques. Again, the videography inside the Potala Palace is not allowed, so I'm just able to show you the outside of the Potala Palace.
Ready to climb the steps of Potala Palace. Another 1,000 feet. There is above. Very beautiful.
While there is still a lot to see as you climb its 13 stories, not recommended on your first day at altitude, and actually we changed our itinerary. We were going to visit the first day at the Potala Palace, but we decided to visit the second day. Seeing the Potala involves hiking endless steep stone steps and almost vertical staircases, sleek and white with age.
entering the Dana Palace and hoping to
Enjoying breakfast with a great view is a memorable moment. Manager Claudia at Shangri-La Hotel took good care of us